One of the most common questions about Mexico City and Mexico in general is about safety. Now, having lived here 10 years, I can tell you from my experience, I have always felt safe here. If I didn't, I would have moved back home a long time ago. Now, like any major city, you could be in New York or London or Paris. Of course, there's things that you should be aware of. And Mexico City is no different. But I would say the majority of people that visit here have no problems at all. But there are things that come up from time to time. And today I'm going to share those things with you. Things I've seen firsthand or have read in the many, many different groups from travelers and people that have lived here. Now, I wouldn't really say they are safety related. I would say, I don't like to really say the word scam, but they're more like tourist scams. So today I'm going to share those with you. One thing I've seen pop up in travel groups are in regards to taxis. Now, I know most people take Ubers and Didis nowadays, myself included, but there could be some situations where you might need to take a taxi. Like take for instance, right now, there's a World Cup here in Mexico City. And just the other day, I went up to Reforma to, I want to say watch the game because it was only audio, but there was 400,000 people there. So good luck getting home if you don't live nearby. You would not be able to get an Uber, 100%. I remember seeing one post, it was a Facebook group, a girl posted in there, and she was at a concert and couldn't get an Uber, so she was going to take a taxi. They agreed on their price before she got in. It was 600 pesos. So when she got to her destination, the taxi driver handed her a debit machine. She put in her number, was about to get out, but looked at the machine. And instead of it being 600 pesos, what was entered was 7,600 pesos. So thankfully, she was able to catch it in time and got her money refunded back to her card. And this is not to say all taxi drivers are like that, and most are not. It could just be an honest mistake. But that's just a situation where you want to take that extra, second and make sure you check the price that is correct. I've been at OXXO myself and had that happen. It was an honest mistake. I'm there every day because I live upstairs, and she just made a mistake and entered in the wrong number. Now, if you guys are planning to rent a car while you're here, there are a few things you want to know about when you go to the gas station. First thing, you can't actually pump your own gas here in Mexico. The attendant's going to pump it for you. Although I did read something about if you had a motorcycle, you can pump your own gas, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually right. So the first thing you want to do before anything else is always check the meter that is set to 0. I remember when I lived in Cabo, I had my car back then, and people would actually get out of their car and watch the attendant pump the gas and watch the meter. And this is just to, prevent the possibility of you paying for gas that was already on the meter. The second thing is, if you ever have an attendant come back and say, oh, your card was declined, do you have another card or do you want to pay with cash? Just kindly ask for a declined receipt, because if it was declined, the machine is going to print a receipt. And if you do have time, check your banking app. Now, this could just be an honest mistake, right? But it's always want to just double check just to make sure so you're not, paying twice. The third thing is, if you are paying with cash, people will say the denomination out loud. So if you are paying with, say, a 500 peso bill, just say it out loud, but you always want to, keep your eyes on the transaction of your money. And that is to prevent, the old switcheroo where you pay with a 500 peso bill and then they say you paid with a 50. Now, this isn't to put you off from renting a car or using cash. The chances of these things happening are slim. But it's just to avoid any confusion, and it's just a place that you want to be more aware of the things that are happening around you. And in situations like this, English is not going to get you very far at all. So knowing some basic Spanish will definitely go a long way. I remember when I first started traveling here, I was taking online classes and also some intro in-person Spanish lessons to learn some travel language. So yeah, I would learn things like how to order food, my numbers, how to ask for directions, things like that. And it just made traveling, a little bit more easier. And it's always nice too to be able to connect with people in their own language. And that's where italki comes in, the sponsor of today's video. italki is an online language learning platform where you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native-speaking teachers in over 150 languages. It's one of the most practical ways to help you turn your school Spanish into real-life conversations. For anyone traveling to Mexico or learning Spanish, they have over 1,500 Spanish teachers to choose from. One thing I like is how easy it is to find a teacher that fits what you're looking for. You can filter by lesson type, country, and price to fit your budget. And since you only pay for lessons you take, you have complete flexibility to learn at your own schedule. Every teacher has ratings and reviews from previous students, so it's easy to see who might be a good fit. Best of all, having these supportive teachers who teach you at your specific level definitely creates a comfortable, safe space to learn and make mistakes. You can learn at your own pace. Lessons are one-on-one, and because there's so many teachers available, it's pretty easy to find times that work around your schedule. You can even book instant lessons if you wanted to jump into a class right away. I had a lesson with Oscar, he's from Mexico. También hay Copa Mundial donde tú vives. We had a class talking about pets, the World Cup, and holidays. For me, that's one of the biggest advantages. You're actually speaking with a real person, improving your listening and speaking skills while learning the way people naturally talk. If you would like to start learning Spanish or any other language, click the link in the description below. New users get $5 off when purchasing $10 of italki credits using my code SHERRY. This offer is only available for the first 50 users. Now, if you guys are visiting Mexico City, there's a strong chance you're going to visit Centro Histórico. So if you guys are out exploring Zocalo, which is the square with the flagpole, you might get approached by someone inviting you to go upstairs to one of the rooftop terraces for food or drinks.
You like to see the place?
No.
You can also hear them yelling from up on the patio as well, trying to get people to go upstairs as well. So what happens with these? From time to time, people will be brought up there without ever seeing a menu or a menu with no prices. Now, I remember reading a post about a couple who went up there. They had 2 mimosas and 2 glasses, not bottles, 2 glasses of water. And when they got the bill, it was 1,700 pesos. So when they asked to see the menu again, they were brought different menus. I've also heard of people going up to one of these restaurants and they were charged, extra fees. One in particular, a couple was charged a fee for the view of Zocalo. Yeah, so to avoid this, always make sure you have a menu with prices. Maybe take a picture of the menu. And again, I'm not saying all restaurants are like this, but just as a rule of thumb, if someone's trying extra hard to get you to go upstairs, maybe take a minute or two to read the reviews. I've actually had this happen to me before. It wasn't in Zocalo, it was in Zona Rosa. So me and a friend were coming back from a movie and we're like, let's pop in somewhere and have a drink. So we went to this street. If you guys have watched my video about all the different neighborhoods, I show this street with all the bars. And again, not all the bars are like this. But yeah, when we sat down, she wouldn't give us a menu. I saw one table, they had a bucket of beer. It was Tecate Light. And I remember back in the day in Cabo San Lucas, a Tecate was 20 pesos. So I'm thinking today, maybe it's 50 pesos, if that. So I'm like, yeah, let's get a bucket of Tecate. We ordered that. We ended up getting 2. So when we got our bill, it was 2,000 pesos. And we're like, what on earth, doesn't cost this. So we asked to see the menu. She would not give it to us. She was showing us on a phone what she put into the computer, which obviously was not correct. So when I got home, I wanted to put a review up so other people were aware, and it was like all these other reviews saying the exact same thing, and they're all foreigners. And again, I'm not putting this out there. Not all bars are like that. It was just happened to be the one that we went to. So yeah, so you just use that as your general rule of thumb if someone's trying really hard to get you to go up there. Check the reviews. Now, when you're going to a cafe and you want to sit on the patio, I wouldn't really worry about this too much if it's an enclosed patio. Nothing's going to happen to you there. But when you're sitting outside, for myself, I wouldn't really leave my phone just sitting out there on the table. Also, never, ever, ever hang your purse, your backpack, anything on the back of your chair, as it only takes a minute for someone to walk by, swoop up your stuff, and off they go. I remember reading one guy's post. He was in a cafe in Condesa and he had his backpack on the ground. It has a laptop. I believe it was a MacBook and all this other stuff in there. Someone swooped it off and took off, and yeah, they're really good. He didn't even notice. So just really keep that in mind. Never put anything on the back of your chair or on the ground. This is not to put anyone off from, working at a cafe, bringing your laptop. When you go to a cafe, like half the people there are working anyways, myself included, and I've never had anything happen. But as the saying goes, never say never. And when you do go to a restaurant, they will bring you, looks like a little mini coat rack where you can hang your purse, your jacket, things like that, and it's, in plain view, so it's right by your table. But at cafes, they don't really have that. So for all the ladies out there, and guys too, maybe you want to hang your jackets, have one of these little things, right? So you just hang it on the edge of the table, and then you would hang your purse on there. And the good thing about this one is it actually folds up like that, so you can fit it in your wallet and you would always have it with you. So that's a nice little option to have. But again, it's not to scare you. The chances are of these things happening are slim, but like I said, never say never. Now, hopefully this next one never happens to you. Knock on wood, as the saying goes. And like I said throughout the entire video, you always want to be aware of your surroundings. But this one is called distraction theft. And this can happen, in the metro, an outdoor market, any crowded area, any tourist area. And how this works is someone was going to cause a distraction. Maybe they bump into you, they spill something on you, because a commotion nearby. And while that's happening, their accomplice is going to come by and, swipe your wallet, your phone, your bag. Another one, I haven't seen this one posted in quite a while in any of the expat groups. It's called the mustard scam. But if you go on those groups and put in mustard scam, you'll see all the posts from people that it has happened to. So how this works is you just kind of casually, walking down the street, and then you're like, oh man, bird pooed on me. And you look behind you and there's 2 people behind you with a cloth just magically there offering to help clean it off of you. They have squirted mustard or any kind of condiment on your back to make it look like a bird pooed on you. And when they're cleaning it off you, they're going to pickpocket you. So if you ever think a bird pooed on you and there's 2 people behind you wanting to clean it off of you, don't engage with them. Get away from them as soon as possible and check your belongings that they're still there. Again, I haven't seen anyone post this in a while, so again, it's not to scare you guys. I've lived here 10 years, never had it happen to me, but again, never say never. You want to be aware of your surroundings. And like any crowded event, again, with guys too, don't put your phone or your wallet in your back pocket, front pocket, be careful. I remember I went to FanFest a couple weeks ago and I knew it was going to be absolute chaos. You're going to be crowded like this. So I was going to wear a money belt, but I didn't. I brought a crossbody bag instead of it being down here. I kind of adjusted the strap so it was up here. So you literally can't move. So if anyone's going to try and get in my bag, their hand would have to be right in front of my face. But I used a hair elastic, looped it through the zipper and around the handle or the strap of my bag so no one could open it. I've also used a carabiner and I loop it through zippers that way as well. I learned that one when I was in Cuba and a lady tried to pickpocket me. I heard a tugging. I felt a tugging on my bag. I looked behind me. She had her hand in my bag and I slapped her away. Didn't even faze her. She just walked off and I guess she went to try her luck somewhere else. If you guys have any anti-pickpocketing hacks you guys have picked up while traveling, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them and maybe they come in handy for someone else. Now on to the next one. Now, if you ever get approached by a street vendor, that's not a scam, that's nothing to worry about. But if someone comes up to you and wants to place something in your hand, like maybe a flower, a bracelet, a small trinket, if you don't want it, you don't want to buy it, just say no gracias and keep on moving. The thing is, sometimes I've heard things where as soon as they put it in your hand, they want you to buy it. And if you say no, it can cause an uncomfortable situation or, maybe they get a bit upset. So just to avoid that, just say no gracias and keep on moving. If you're ever on the bus or the metro, it's very common for vendors to be on there all day long selling all sorts of things. And that's completely fine. It's nothing to worry about. Sometimes, the ones that are selling like maybe a candy or a piece of gum, I've had them put it on my knee or they put it on the seat beside me. They'll do the whole entire car, the whole entire bus. And when they get to the end, they'll come back and pick them all up. And they're not going to want you to buy it. So you don't have to worry if that ever happens. A very popular tourist attraction here in Mexico City is Xochimilco. It's where they have the very colorful, brightly painted gondola-style boats that take you down the canal. So when you are heading there, you want to head to, I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys, this port up here. But one thing to look out for is that people might try to redirect you even before you arrive. And this can be, drivers to people posing as official staff outside, and they look to be wearing what looks to be like official vests. So what they'll say to you is that, this port is closed or that there's an event happening, and they'll try to redirect you to another port because they get commission and also they will charge you more money over there. So if this ever happens, just look online and make sure it is still in fact open, because in most cases it is. And just to give you guys an idea on what it costs, the whole boat for an hour should cost roughly around 600 pesos. Well, you guys, that's about the end of this video. Just like any massive city anywhere in the world, there are some things that maybe you want to spend a little bit more attention to. But regardless, more often than not, nothing happens here. People go about their day and tourists have a great experience, and just knowing what to look out for means you can relax a little bit more. So I hope this helps you plan your trip, and if you are on the fence about visiting, I hope it puts your mind at ease. And if I did miss anything, that maybe you have come across, feel free to put it in the comments below. Well, till next time, guys, see you then.